Today we have the Cadillac XT4, which is actually the smallest and cheapest Cadillac that you can buy, and we're going to take a full review and go for a test drive and see if this is worth the money. Coming right up. When Cadillac introduced the XT4, they wanted to capture the essence of a Cadillac in a compact athletic package. And we're going to talk about everything that this has to offer. There's 3 trim levels: the luxury, premium luxury, and sport, and we have the premium luxury right here. Every trim is going to give you LED daytime running lights, LED headlights that have a vertical design. They're pretty sleek looking, and it is really pretty premium. At night, these are very good low and high beams. I've had no troubles with them whatsoever. You can also get cornering lamps available on this trim, and they're standard on the sport trim to help you when you're cornering. Up front, the bottom 2 trims will give you a bright metallic accented grille, while the sport trim will give you a gloss black mesh grille. A black grille is available on this premium luxury model, and active arrow shutters are going to be on the top 2 trims to help with fuel economy. This paint is the shadow metallic paint, and it looks pretty nice. It's a $625 premium option. I think it looks pretty nice. It's a darker color. It's kind of a grayish, maybe a little bluish. It's a nice color overall. All models are going to come standard with 18-inch wheels with different finishes and 10 spokes, but we have the optional 20-inch wheels right here. Power folding, reverse tilting, and driver's side dimming mirrors are standard on the top 2 trims. Turn signals in the mirrors are optional with different packages. Door handles are going to be satin chrome on the bottom 2 trims, and they're going to actually illuminate on this premium luxury trim. Otherwise, on the sport, you're going to have body color. The XT4 gives you an all-around independent suspension, but if you really want to, you can opt up on the sport trim to get an adaptive sport suspension, which is optional. And overall, with the side profile and everything with this vehicle, I think Cadillac did a nice job with this. I feel like they gave it a sleeker and sportier look without being too polarizing to some people they may be targeting. And then in the back, you've got LED taillights, again with their vertical design. And down below, a dual exhaust outlet is going to be standard on every single trim. As for driver assist features, standard on every trim is going to be the forward collision alert with low speed automatic emergency braking and pedestrian braking, rear parking sonars, safety alert seat to alert you to check the back seat, and then on the premium luxury and sport standard is going to be both front and rear parking sonar, the blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert, and rain sensing windshield wipers. Optional on the top 2 trims are a couple packages and different things here. So one is a lane keeping assist system with departure warning. The driver assist package is optional. That gives you adaptive cruise control, enhanced higher speed automatic braking, and automatic high beams. And then the enhanced visibility package will give you rear pedestrian alert, rear camera mirror, so your mirror is actually a backup camera as well, or just an all the time on camera, a surround vision camera up on your 8-inch screen, or automatic parking assist with braking. Now once you get to the cargo area of this Cadillac XT4, the base model has a manual liftgate, no power option, but the top 2 trims, like this one right here, give us the hands-free liftgate. And when you get close, if you have the key fob on you, there's actually a little Cadillac logo that will show on the ground. And it takes a couple tries sometimes, but then you can get it if you swipe your foot, or you can push a button up under there and it'll lift up as well. And once you get back here, you've got 22.5 cubic feet behind the second row, really flat area, and then 48.9 cubic feet once you fold everything down. Now that we got this open, let me show you what it looks like with some stuff in there. So first of all, you've got a grab handle and your button to shut it if you want. Once you get on the inside, you have this, well, we have this electable cargo cover, which is nice, but it's hard and it does get in the way if you want to move the seats down, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But you've got some LED lights in here. You've got a couple tie downs on both sides of the vehicle, some extra space over here. And as you can see, it is fairly small. It's fairly cramped. The load floor does not adjust. And underneath of that load floor, a spare tire is not standard. You get a tire inflator kit, but but we have the optional spare tire. It's only optional, so be sure to watch out for that if you really care about having a spare tire. The one thing that is annoying though is there's no handles back here to lower those seats. So in order to do so, you've got to go to the back seat and do it just like you would in some mainstream vehicles. And even a lot of mainstream vehicles have handles, but once you get those down, you've got a really nice big flat load floor. So this Cadillac XT4 gives us a pretty nice soft key fob. I've heard of durability issues on this soft touch material on here, at least on some Chevrolet vehicles, so that is to be seen, but it's a smart key system. You've got remote start on here, and it will even cool or heat your seats as well if you have those equipped. But one actually small complaint is that on the bottom here, this little spot where the key ring goes is skinnier than normal, so it's stuck like this unless I get it on the skinny part. So that's something that's actually been mildly annoying, so you need a skinny key ring if you're going to use this. The way this system works is we've got this button right here to lock it and to unlock it, and those actually light up the door handles, which is pretty cool. And if you want, you can have it automatically lock when you walk away, and you can choose that on your settings on the screen. As for the front seats, the base luxury model is going to give you synthetic seats. It's not a real leather. The rest of them are going to give you leather seats, and every single trim, the driver's seat is going to be 8-way power, 6-way power passenger with 2-way lumbar. 4-way lumbar for the driver and passenger is available on upper trims though, which is what we have right here. And on the top 2 trims, you get memory settings, which are over here on the door for 2-position memory settings. We also have the comfort and convenience package for ventilated and massaging seats, as well as heated seats, of course. And overall, these seats are comfortable. At 5'9", I've got good headroom sitting here. I've had no complaints with these seats really whatsoever. The massaging function isn't rough or anything. It's just fairly kind of a gentle roll as it goes up the seat. The bolstering here is okay. On the Sport, you can get side adjustments for your bolster. But overall, I've been comfortable. Like I said, no complaints with these seats. We have the optional heated steering wheel. Every trim gets a leather steering wheel. We have the manual adjustment, but you can get a power column steering wheel. The inside of the Cadillac XT4 does give you a premium feel. You definitely know that you are in a luxury vehicle. When you're in here, there's soft materials pretty much all around you. And we have this Sedona in jet black interior, and it looks pretty nice in my opinion. Up front, we get a 4.2-inch screen standard with some analog gauges next to it with a couple digital inserts in there as well. I'm surprised that this screen isn't any larger, but there's an optional 8-inch screen on upper trims. This 4.2-inch screen still really gives you a ton of information, and there's a digital speedometer up above with some more information, but seriously, tons of information on this small screen, although it just doesn't look as premium as some other luxury models. Moving across, we've got an 8-inch touchscreen, which is smaller than some luxury models again, but it still operates just fine. The weird thing about it though is it's angled up instead of like a tablet design, so the fingerprints are even more noticeable and there's some glare on it, but it does look nice, kind of integrated, halfway integrated into this system here. Standard is a 7-speaker system, but we have a really nice sounding 13-speaker Bose system, which is optional. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard. We have Wi-Fi, and this can be a touchscreen or a rotary control with shortcut buttons, and it works pretty well. I've actually enjoyed it. You can use the knob or you can use the touchscreen, which is nice. Dual zone automatic climate control is standard with easy to use toggles for you and your passenger, and they're also really slim with the seat controls and other controls right below that as well. Right below this center stack, we've got a pretty nice storage bin right here with a couple charging ports as well. The shifter is quite interesting looking in the way it works. Cup holders are actually kind of small, which is a little bit disappointing, but they still work just fine. And then this center armrest right here is pretty good size. It's actually really long, and I really like how it has a special slot for your phone. It's got a separate tray, and it's a pretty good size space overall. To my surprise, an automatic dimming rearview mirror is not standard on the base model, but it is on these top 2 trims. However, garage controls are standard across the board. The top 2 trims give you some subtle ambient lighting, although it's really not as noticeable as some or as pronounced as some, so it's a little calm in here at night. And the surprising thing is, on this vehicle there's no sunroof whatsoever, but a panoramic roof is optional. And if you really want to spoil yourself, you can go with the Comfort Technology package to give yourself a head-up display, 8-inch information to screen to almost double the size, power steering column, and wireless charging. The back seat of the XT4 is one of its strengths. It's got amazing legroom for a vehicle of this size. Most time when you get these small crossovers, you've got some really cramped back seats and you can't really transport very many people all that comfortably. That is not the case in this XT4. And even though there's a hump in the middle, I can sit right there. It seems to be wide enough without my feet really being annoying if I can put them on each side of the hump. Passengers are treated pretty well back here because we've got this center folding armrest that is pretty soft, and it's got a couple cup holders that are bigger than your average. Sitting up here, I've got a little bit of space above my head, which you can't really ask for much more than that. I'm 5'9", I've got a little bit more room. Legroom is great as well, and the only thing though is that these seats can't slide forward and backwards or recline. So that's a little bit annoying, but still, the way that they seem to be okay, even though they're a little bit upright. And then right here in front of us, we've got AC vents, and we have the optional outboard heated rear seats. Plus, everybody's gonna get a USB port and a USB-C port as well. No matter which trim level you get for the XT4, you get the same engine across the board. So you've got this 2.4 liter turbocharged engine that's gonna put out 237 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. Not ultra impressive numbers, but this is very torquey, coming out at 1500 RPM. Every single model also gets a 9-speed automatic transmission, and base models do not get all-wheel drive. This one is all-wheel drive, but you actually have to engage all-wheel drive. Kind of like a 4-wheel drive system, except it's still just all-wheel drive. Miles per gallon is going to be with front-wheel drive, 24 city, 30 highway. And this all-wheel drive model is going to give you 22 in the city, 29 on the highway, and 24 combined. And if you're feeling a little bit adventurous, you can get the optional trailering package, so you can tow up to 3,500 pounds. All right, thank you so much for sticking around for the test drive. So normally I have my camera coming from up here, but we don't have a sunroof, so hopefully this view right here is okay. Leave your feedback if you prefer something like this or prefer strapped on the windshield looking straight out where you don't see any of the car but you see the road. And if you've watched this far and you haven't subscribed yet or you're not subscribed, please subscribe down below. I do videos like this, full detailed long reviews, shorter reviews, 5 likes and dislikes reviews, some videos on the Everyman Driver channel, even some night videos as well. But starting out, my first impression of this XT4 is that it's really easy to drive around. Cadillac did a nice job of making this, a simple vehicle, even though it's luxurious. Now we're gonna give a quick little acceleration run, and one thing to note is that this is front-wheel drive until you put it in all-wheel drive. So, and it gets you up to speed pretty quick. It's not gonna blaze you, of course, and it's not supposed to with this class of a vehicle, but it's a very quick and responsive transmission especially. That is my favorite thing, honestly, about this vehicle probably, is just how responsive it is. The handling on the XT4 is pretty nimble. It's a pretty agile vehicle, and Cadillac kind of wanted it to be a little bit sportier, a little more athletic, so they say, with still the Cadillac essence, and it has that. It's not something you want to carve mountains with or carve corners with, because it does have some body lean. It sits up a little bit higher, so you've got some of that tallness to it, but overall the steering is pretty quick. It's really lightweight. It's really easy to toss around. Parking is a breeze in this thing. I just would expect, with the parking note, that this would have the surround view camera for the price that we're paying. In terms of the ride is good. It really handles every surface and every bump pretty well. It's maybe slightly stiff, but certainly not bad at all. I can't complain about the ride comfort. My wife hasn't complained to me at all, so that's a win right there. Now I am on a little bit of a bumpier road now. It does have some pretty uneven pieces of pavement, and it's pretty smooth. Now, there is a sport-tuned suspension that is adaptive, and it's probably pretty advanced to where, even though it's sporty and stiffer, it's probably still going to be fairly smooth. So if you go for the sport model and pick that one, that suspension, you'll probably still be fairly comfortable in here. Now, the one thing that I do have to complain about with driving this is, one, the brake position, it's closer to you, so if you want to move your foot over real quick to brake, it's annoying. It just kind of gets in the way. And the braking performance is really numb, and I have to push a lot harder than I think if I want to get this stopped. Now I'm gonna, as TFL would say, give it the beans. I've got it in sport mode, which automatically puts us in all-wheel drive. There was a little more body lean than I was comfortable with on that one, but it's holding the RPMs really well. And once those RPMs are high, you actually lose quite a bit. So sport mode is not ideal for this vehicle, although it is nice to have just in case you want. There are paddle shifters, but truly folks, they're nothing special, and I would never use them in this vehicle unless you want an engine brake, but at least they're available. But when it comes to daily driving this, overall it's done really well. It's comfortable. That's probably another one of my favorite things, is that it's comfortable. It handles just fine. It's responsive. It's easy to drive, like I said. There's really not much that you can complain about with it. However, right now, I'm not going very fast, but I still get some road noise in. In my decibel rating measurements, the road noise was actually louder than expected. It's not a loud vehicle. I don't want to call it loud, but it's not Cadillac quiet. It's not luxury brand quiet. It's not $50,000 quiet. So I've got a Cadillac for that, and I don't think that I'm the only one who would say that. It just doesn't meet my standards with that. We do have laminated side glass and a laminated windshield, so that helps cut down the wind noise, but road noise, which I'm going to get on a louder road right here. You can probably hear some more of that. Not too bad, but I've been in mainstream vehicles that are quieter than this and cheaper. So in conclusion, the thing about power, some people might complain it doesn't have enough power. When you're merging onto the interstate and you get those RPMs up, the lower horsepower number is going to hit you a little bit. But around town, it's real punchy. It's real responsive. It gets up and goes real quick with minimal effort. Just a little throttle down, and it just goes. I mean, that turbo kicks in right away. So a lot of you are probably going to appreciate that. And overall, I would have to say that this seems to be a little overpriced for what you get. And Cadillac is pretty stingy with some of the stuff that they offer. There's a lot of packages and options that you've got to pay extra for that you want to get that we don't have on here. So you're going to push this thing north of 50 grand to get some stuff that I would maybe expect to be on a premium vehicle like this at this price in this class. Maybe that's just me. Leave your comments below. That's going to wrap this video up. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Subscribe down below. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it as well. And we'll catch you next time with another video.